Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. It is currently like 10 o'clock. I'm getting ready for work, so I thought I'd do a get ready with me and maybe talk about some of my makeup collection that I have. Somebody commented, her name was Cassandra Winters. She commented on my video, one of my recent videos, and she said that she would really like to see some of my beauty products that I have and some of my favorites. So I thought I'd talk about that while I was getting ready. So my collection probably isn't as much as I would think any beauty guru or whatever may have, because I just recently started collecting stuff and trying out new things. I've done makeup for maybe like 6 or 7 years. I haven't really been doing it very long, like a lot of other people probably have. But I started doing it when I was like 22 and I really liked it. So I started trying new things. And then I started doing a YouTube video like three years ago, but I didn't stick to it. So my collection kind of tapered off because I don't do makeup every day. I don't actually like doing makeup every day because it irritates my skin. For concealer, I'm using the Maybelline New York Eraser Corrector Multi-Usage Concealer. I just opened it, so it's not wanting to come out. And this is the first time using this product, so I'm trying it out today. But my makeup collection's probably not as much as someone might think. But I can still go through it and tell you some of the things that I really enjoy using, that I probably use a lot, and probably what you've seen, if you've seen other one of my videos, what you've probably seen me use the most. But I started using makeup when I was like 22 and I had no idea what I'm doing. So I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and I just started practicing and just having fun with it, enjoying it and buying new things and trying new things. But I started watching a lot of YouTube videos and trying out new things and just learning from different people. And that's actually what made me start doing YouTube videos in the first place, is because of the way that I learned to do makeup. I thought there was plenty of people out there that were the same as me that wanted to learn how to do makeup as well. So I thought that I would start recording videos and uploading them and showing people that these videos, like, these people don't always know everything and that we're all just kind of learning. And by showing people like you guys that we're still just learning, it may give you the confidence and motivation to try new things and do things that you don't think you can do. For this look, I'm using a eyeshadow, like kind of a little smoky eyeliner, so I'm taping down so I can have a actual point to it. So because I'm about to start doing eyeshadow, I thought I'd show or tell you which eyeshadow palettes I have. The one I'm using today is the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. I don't think they actually sell this anymore. I think they stopped selling it a long time ago. But I really like this palette. I haven't used it in a while, so that's why I'm using it. I also have the James Charles Morphe palette, the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette, and then I have the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Conspiracy palette. The first shade I'm going to be using is the shade Cocoa, and I'm using a 213 Morphe brush. What I would say is probably my favorite eyeshadow palette would probably have to be the James Charles Morphe palette, just because it's got a lot of colors in it and a lot of different selections. It has a bunch of colors in it, so like you get a wide variety of eyeshadows that you can use. And I don't know a lot about formulas, but to me, using the eyeshadows in that palette are really easy to use. They do have a lot of fallout, but in all honesty, that's why I do my eyeshadow first before I do my face, because a lot of eyeshadows have fallout. So it's really not that big of a deal for me because I'm just going to clean it up afterwards anyways. There is a difference between just like fallout, just because you have a lot on your brush, and fallout to the point to where like the whole color is coming out of the pan. To smoke that out, I'm going to use this is a Mehron Paradise Makeup brush. It's just a flat, fluffy brush. I'm going to be using the shade Sandalwood. My eyelashes are all over the place right now. I'm getting them redone tomorrow, but I was kind of hoping that they could keep their shit together for a day, but it's not happening. I'm going to use a little bit bigger, fluffier brush. This one's the JS6. I'm going to go back to that same shade, Sandalwood. I'm just going to shadow that out a little bit more and higher. Now because I blended some of that first color out, I'm going to go back in with that cocoa shade and just darken it back up. Because I'm not doing eyeliner for this look, because I use the eyeshadow, I will talk about what kind of eyeliner I have and what my favorites are. For a liquid liner, I just got this like this week and I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I wanted to try it. I haven't used it yet, but I have the e.l.f. liquid liner in the shade black or jet black. I have the NYX Epic ink liner, which I used this in a recent video. If you haven't checked it out, you should go back and look at that. But I use the Epic ink liner by NYX, and I really like this one. I think it's a very good black, and I think it was very easy to use. I'm not very good at eyeliner. I'm still trying to practice new things with that, so I'm not the best at it, so having something that's easy to use is really nice. Other liners that I like are the Suva Beauty Hydra liner. There I have the shade Space Panda and Grease. These are really good. I like them a lot. It kind of sucks that they're water-based, so they wipe off easily if your eyes start to water. But if you are trying to do like top eyeliner stuff and like different things, these are really easy to use. Salem, can you not scratch my chair? Come on. But these eyeliners are very easy to use, and you can do a lot of things with them. For my lower lash line, I'm going to use the NYX Professional Makeup liner stick in the shade Gold Plated. For pencil liners, I really like NYX pencil liners. I think they work really well. Another one that I have, I use this one a lot too. It's the CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus liner, and it's the shade Whiteout. I use this one a lot, but I don't actually like it very much. I haven't found another one that I like. I know the NYX like jumbo one is supposed to be really nice, but I couldn't find it at the store. I think they were sold out of the color that I wanted, so I haven't got one yet. But this one just like, it's creamy, but it's so creamy that when you try to like start lining your lower lash or your waterline, it like falls off into your eye, and it does it all the time. And I don't know if maybe the liner is just too warm and that's why, but I mean I leave it on my desk, which maybe the sun is too hot, but I don't really think it's in an abnormal temperature. For primer, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I'm going to use a BS Mall round face brush. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Maybelline eraser that I used on my eye. When it comes to concealer, I don't prefer a full coverage because in my opinion, I think it gives you an unnatural color to your face. I like the natural color of my face. I just want concealer to kind of even it out. I don't like when it covers my freckles either, so I don't like a full coverage. I would prefer something that's a little bit more sheer, but this still helps even out my skin tone. I haven't exactly found my favorite concealer yet. That's why I'm trying out new things. For contour, I'm going to use the NYX Wonder Stick. Right now, this is probably my favorite contour that I use. But again, I haven't really tried many things. The other one I've tried is the e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette. I really like this one. It's got like different shades. I use this one a lot for fake freckles, but when I use contour, I probably use about this shade. But my favorite is the NYX, just because it's really easy to use. To blend that out, I'm going to use the JS3 Morphe and Jeffree Star brush. If I had to say what my favorite brushes were, I would probably say that Morphe is my favorite. I have a lot of their brushes, and I think they work really well. I have different, I think the only collab that I have is Jeffree Star and Morphe. Even though I know they don't sell that anymore, they don't collab with him anymore. But I really like their brushes. And the other brushes I have the BS Mall, which I think was just like an Amazon brand. I got it for like a Christmas present, so I don't know where they bought it at. And then I have some Bare Minerals. Not much on the Bare Minerals brushes, just because I feel like they're kind of sharp. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like when I use them to kind of blend something out, it feels like I'm rubbing something rough. against my eyelid, and it kind of makes it sore. So I don't really like their brushes too much. I really like my Bare Minerals finisher brush. That one's really fluffy and soft, but that, like for eyeshadow brushes and like blending brushes, I'm not a big fan. But I do have a couple of those. But Morphe would be my favorite. And they're affordable. They're not super crazy expensive. Oh, I have some e.l.f. brushes too. They're okay. I just don't use them very much. So I don't really have much to say about them. Good or bad. I don't think they're awful. I've heard a lot of good things about them. I just don't use them because I have so many Morphe brushes. For setting powder, I am going to be using the L'Oreal Paris Hydra Perfect setting powder. I just got this, and I would probably say that this is my favorite setting powder. It's supposed to help hydrate your skin even though it's a powder. And I think it did a good job the first time I tried it, so I'm trying it again to see how well it does. But I do have two other ones. I have a Too Faced, which I don't use that one really much anymore. It's kind of old, so it's probably not great anymore. Then I also use Jeffree Star's setting powder in the shade Fair. I use that a lot in my videos. I'm using a Morphe fluffy taper brush. It doesn't have a number on it. Because it's easy for me to talk about the different beauty products that I have and what my favorite is, because I don't have very much. Couldn't imagine one day when I have like a whole cabinet full of different makeup products that I've used and have bought, trying to go through that whole cabinet and talking about how much makeup I had and like what my favorite is, because I feel like I wouldn't really have a favorite anymore. I would probably have like a few favorites, but one day I will have that. Oh, the setting powder shade was Translucent 916. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Hourglass Luminous Bronze Light in the shade Ambient. This is one of two bronzers that I have. The other bronzer that I have is the Butter Bronzer. It's a Sun-Kissed bronzer. Both of these I like. I don't hate either of them. This one kind of gives me more of a sunburnt kind of bronze, while this one is just like a regular bronze. It still has more, it has a little bit of red in it. There it is, there it goes. But it has a little bit of red in it, and it's more shimmery, while this one is more of a matte. But I like both of them. I don't think either of them is bad, but I'm just using this one because I want to. The brush I'm using is an e.l.f. pointed powder brush. For blush, I'm using the Morphe blush palette, and I'm going to use the shade Queen. The brush I'm using is a BS Small Angled Face Brush. I don't have very many blush products. I'm trying to collect new things. I did just get some of the P. Louise. They're called P. Louise Base Ick. They're just like a cream. They're like an eyeshadow cream. And they're a base color. I've seen a lot of people use these, and I've always wanted to try them. I've got the shade Winter Rose, Blowin' Bubbles, and I also got a really cool black shade that I want to use for my eyes one day, and it's a Bada Black. But I already set my face and I forgot to use them, so I'm not using them today, unfortunately, which I'm really upset about, but I'm using the Morphe palette today. If you have any blush recommendations that you guys like, comment down below and I might look into them. I want to try different ones because I don't want to continue just using the Morphe one, which I like it. It's just that I don't want to keep using the same one. I want to use different ones and different colors. So if you have any suggestions or recommendations, please let me know. To blend that in with the bronzer a little bit, I'm going to use the Bare Minerals Supreme Finisher Brush. This is that Bare Minerals brush that I was talking about that I really like. I use it mainly for this, just kind of blending everything in powder-wise. For highlighter, I'm going to use the Nikkie Tutorials Highlighter Trio, and I'm going to use the shade Glazed Donut. Highlighter is my favorite part of makeup, so I do have many, compared to everything else, many of those. My favorite is this one that I'm using. I like her other shade in here, the blue shade, but I don't really use it as much because I don't really like blue tinted highlighters. I really like the silver shiny ones. My other shade that I like a lot is from the Moonchild palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills, It's called Star. It's more of a silver, like a more silver shade. Those would be my two favorites. The other palettes that I have a Jeffree Star Brain Freeze palette. Out of this one, I really like using the Gold Breaker or the Cold Shoulder in the Frozen Fruit. The Frozen Fruit is probably my favorite out of this palette. It's a really nice pink color, and I love the color pink, so I use this one a lot. I also have a Becca press one, and this is in the shade Pearl. I've used this a couple different times in my palettes. I have a Jeffree Star Supreme Frost. It's in the shade Money Honey. It's like a green shade, which I really don't know why I got it, because I don't wear a lot of green things. I don't like the color green, but St. Patrick's Day is coming up, so I may use this for a video. I also have a liquid highlighter from Jeffree Star. It's a gold. I use that one a lot too. For setting powder, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. This setting powder is new to me. I just started using it probably like this week. I'm trying it out to see if it's a bit different. The other setting powders that I have is MAC, and then I also have the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, which I really like this one. I use this one a lot, but the MAC one is really good too. It's like it has like gold shimmers in it. For lip liner, I'm going to be using the NYX lip liner in the shade Nude Pink. My favorite lip liners probably have to be NYX. They're really easy to use, and they're very creamy. I will show a clip of the different lipsticks that I have. I have an assortment of like drugstore brands. I've got Jeffree Star velour lipsticks. I've got his, I have his velour liquid lipsticks, and I have his regular lipsticks. I've also got some NYX lipstick. I have Kylie Jenner or Kylie Cosmetics. I have a lot of different kinds, so I'll show a clip of like the different ones and kind of show a couple of them. But I have a lot of them. My favorite lipsticks will probably have to be the Jeffree Star Velour lipstick. They're really easy to use, and I think they stay very well. I have dry lips, and I kind of pick at them, so it's really hard for me to keep lipstick on. So something that stays decently well is a lot, since I am so bad with my lips. But I really like his stuff. For lipstick, I'm using the Birthday Suit by Jeffree Star. It's a Jeffree Star velour lipstick. It's like one of his mini ones. Look how small it is. Look how beauty. It's cute. See how small it is? Alright guys, this is the final look. I've talked a little bit about the different makeup products that I have, so I hope I answered your question. I talked about my favorite ones. I probably will have more favorites, and I will be continuing to grow my makeup collection. I do have some loose powders and a couple different other things that I may be using in the future, but the gist of what I have and what I use most was talked about in this video. So I hope you guys like this video. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see more of my videos. Until next time, guys. Bye.